Hey, sorry about that. Oh, hey Dennis, how you doing? Greetings, welcome to the live stream. Uh, as the title suggests, I'm kind of waiting to see if I can get to 10,000 subscribers. Frankly, I can't believe I even made it this far. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh wow, I can't believe it! I made it this far. Thank you all so much." And like, of course, thank you all so much. But it is a little trite at times. Like, it's a little cliche, but I also know how I got here. It's because I'm the sexiest man alive, obviously. No other reason. So while we talk here, hey Dennis, heard you love rabbits. No skibbity. Not sure what even context you're going to use that one. Like, are you trying to be hip and cool? Or is it like, no, crap, Sherlock? I unsubscribed. Whatever will I do, Mr. Trusty Rusty? Actually, I think that might have been that may have affected the actual life count. I think I went up to like 70, but then I went down because of you. And all I can say is, you suck. How dare you, Dennis? How dare you defy me? You monster. Let's hope someone else. Let's see if other people shall join. Yo, Skichis, keep up the great work, man. Hey, Zenix, thank you very much. Oh, okay. Thanks, Dennis. Hey, Zenix, I just want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Like, admittedly, it's kind of crazy that this many people have now seen my work. It's been a real grind, as with any YouTuber, but I really am happy that I just kind of kept at it. I mean, I've been making videos for. If you make a rabbit comment again, I'll dislike the stream. Does this count? Does that reference count or not? Um, uh, you ever heard of a horse named Hedivar, Mr. Dennis? Hedivar is the only reason that Dr. Fager didn't go undefeated as a 4-year-old. That's a fun piece of racing history. There was only one. There was not one single horse that could defeat Dr. Fager. It was all about teamwork in order to defeat the good doctor. And this isn't the good doctor like the surgeon. No, Dr. Fager, the fastest racehorse to ever live. But the only thing that could stop him was a wabbit. That is a good point, Skylar T. Yeah, I'll be honest. I was kind of one of those people. I really did kind of think that he did did not like Saratoga all that much. It's not like he was bad. Like Sierra Leone doesn't necessarily run bad races. He kind of runs mediocre sometimes, but yet he always gets a piece of the pie, like without fail. That horse has literally never been worse than third. He's remarkably consistent, but he's also kind of inconsistent because he'll give you an A effort and then he'll give you a B effort, and you just don't know which Sierra Leone's going to show up because he also gets himself into so much trouble, so much traffic, and he doesn't run straight long enough. Sitting on a big race. So I guess okay. So he's sitting on a big race. I guess the next question to ask is, well, Sierra Leone is obviously the defending champion of the Breeders' Cup. That's the next thing. Is that Sierra Leone's going to make the Breeders is going to try and become the first horse since Tisnow to win 2 Breeders' Cup Classics. You're calling it? Okay. Mark the calendars, gentlemen. The day of the Whitney Stakes. Skylar T declares that Tisnow has some company, and that company will be Sierra Leone. Honestly, I can see it. You're calling Sovereignty? That's a pretty smart choice. I mean, Sovereignty is a much more consistent comer behind horse, to say the least. But if you get a good pace setup with Sierra Leone, if you were Chad Brown, you'd just train up to the Breeders' Cup Classic. Well, okay, Sierra Leone, by this point in his career, he was second in the Jim Dandy, and then he lost the Travers Stakes, and then he stopped. Like, he didn't run again after the Travers Stakes. That suggests to me that they're probably going to try and run him one more time. I think Chad Brown probably would eye the Jockey Club Gold Cup. And if not the Jockey Club Gold Cup, then maybe even the Pacific Classic and just keep him there at like Del Mar, or Santa Anita. Just bring him over there to the West and face off against Nisos, as bold of a strategy as that would be. But I can totally see him running in the Jockey Club Gold Cup or maybe even the Woodward Stakes. We'll see what happens. Worth a shot, yeah. I mean, I doubt that they have a full-fledged plan by now. I mean, the horse just won a big race. Mindframe's going to the Jockey Club Gold Cup last I checked. Such a stupid choice, in my opinion. You enjoying the anime horse game, any? Okay, I must confess, I have never actually played the game. Not even now. I know that I've had a lot of suggestions to play it. And I know that would probably be one of the easiest ways to make content would be to play the game. I know it's a free stream. I know it's free on Steam. Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Yeah, I guess it would be pretty easy to download. I mean, all I'd have to, it's free and only 11 gigabytes, so my computer can handle it. Skibbity Riz, yes, yes, yes. Do you think Deterministic will win the mile? The Breeders' Cup Mile, I think that's going to be a tall order. I mean, Deterministic does have to get used to the California surface. He does have at least like some advantages. Ooh, another subscriber. Thank you very much. He does have some advantages. I think Deterministic, he's obviously brilliant over Saratoga. And as a kind of stalker, he'll get the jump on the Euros, who rely a lot on kind of a late spurt. But those late spurts are powerful. They could run Deterministic down. I think they really could. But at the same time, I mean, he just won the 4-star Dave, which is one of the best local preps. I'd say he has a chance. We should do a horse racing Kahoot. That's a really, really good idea. World Beater ran so amazing, but then again, I think Test Score got such a bad ride. I can agree with that, but also Test Score, I think, had a chance in the stretch. Like, on the outside, I think he had a perfect opportunity to whiz by. But he missed it. Like, he just flattened out just a tiny bit, and I think that's what did him in, I think that's what finished it. What do you think about the DQ in the Hall of Fame? That is tough. I'll be honest, from what I saw of it, he did. I agree, Nathan, but he also had been all out up for about 5 furlongs. Good point, yeah. The DQ in the National Museum of Hall of Fame, I've watched it once. I think I know what happened, and I get both sides of it. Like, I personally think that Zulu Kingdom was the best horse in the race, but I also get that rules are rules. I'm glad that the owners took it like a champ, though. I know that horse racing has so many sore losers. Yeah, I know there was something like that actually. Back in Japan, Majiro McQueen, he got disqualified for something he did out of the gate, where he caused a horse to nearly fall. And that was the end of that, despite easily being the best horse in the race. Skibbity Riz, bless this man with Riz. Thank you very much, but I already have so much Riz. How could I possibly accept more charitable Riz? Thank you all so much. Thank you very much, Brubnish. Oh, another subscriber. Okay, we're in the final. Oh my god, we're actually in the final 30. 28 to go. Jesus Christ. Keep coming in with the comments. Oh, I didn't know you made videos. Let me check, actually. Skylar T. 1,000 subscribers. Well, what videos are you going to be making, Skylar T? Oh, on Instagram. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. The Hall of Fame, to me, I could see why they DQ'd him, but I don't know how the heck they justified their reasoning. They said it cost the 3 a spot, and the 3 had the entire stretch to go by. Oh yeah, clever again. Also, happy very early birthday to you, Skylar T. Bravo. See, while we talk about this, one thing that's also going to be going on is Dave's Bros Instagram account Rise Like Secretariat. Thank you very much, homie. That is great. Anyways, bye, chat. All right, see you later. While I'm doing this, I'll also be trying to do a little bit of editing for my next video, which will be Silent Suzuka versus Precious Passion. That'll probably be the first video I make as a 10,000 subscriber YouTube channel. I know that as soon as I pass out tonight, that it's going to happen, that I'm going to hit 10,000 subscribers. I really had no idea that it happened this quickly. I expected maybe one more week, but wow. Copian, or as some of the analysts call her, Copion. It's like an evolution. Oh, hey, Lakshamana. How you doing? Welcome to the show. You know, I always love your kind of Japanese factual horse racing comments. They're very insightful. I have a horse in the Saratoga sale that I want to see what you think on the site and think of the sire and dam of the horse. I'm not much of a breeding expert, but sure, you can send in the cross. And I can give you kind of a quick theory. I mean, either way, I do hope the horse runs well for you. Well, not for you, but whoever owns the horse, because, you know, they're in the sale. Hey, another subscriber. Now we only have 27 more to go. So 4 subscribers in about 14 minutes. You know, the stream might be over faster than I thought it would be. Hang on, BRB, guys. I'm going to go and get a San Pellegrino just to soothe my vocal cords. Ewing was really impressive. Yeah, he was. Oh, aren't you diligent, Dennis? Bravo. Yeah. Maybe one of those horses is Skylar's horse. That'd be actually really cool. Yeah, Brendan Ewing. I'm really glad that like, you know, Griffin isn't a one-hit wonder here, that like he gets a chance to get another cool horse, because, you know, Sandman, you know, he was a great introduction and he's a good horse, but, you know, he's not the best. Ewing, at the very least, he'll be a precocious 2-year-old. You know, Saratoga special horses, they're kind of hit or miss. I mean, horses that win graded stakes races that early in their career either are the ones that peak in high school or are just that freakishly good. Heck, maybe obliteration blossoms, and like obliteration really like becomes a top 3-year-old. I'm just thinking out loud here, but maybe one of the lower horses in that race turns into a super horse. No, no high noons for me. I'm just gonna get some carbonated seltzer. And back. Welcome back, everybody. We need a drunk stream. Okay, he's out of Geoponte mare named Blank Slate. That's interesting. Ooh, another subscriber. That is based. Thank you very much for the new subscriber. Geoponte. That horse was always so close to greatness. He was a damn good horse, but like, there was always just one better than him. On the turf, it was Goldakova, and on the synthetic, it was Zenyatta. Poor horse. Geoponte had a rough go of it. He was always being beaten by mares. Maybe he was just being a gentleman. Actually, how good is Geoponte as a sire? I mean, I know how good he was as a horse, but I don't actually know how good is. Put a pic of the foal in the Discord. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. Okay, so is it Dominican Pirate? Actually, no. Okay, so that's some of Blank Slate's other children. Is this an unregistered like yearling or like a 2-year-old? Because all those are of racing age. Looks like one of them, Topic Changer. Let's see, Topic Changer. That's actually not a bad racehorse. I mean, 4 wins and 6 figures earned. Okay, a New York bred. Oh, okay. Oh. A steeplechaser. You don't hear that all that often. Yeah, this is interesting. So Topic Changer was a jumper. So you have a jumper in that pedigree. How is Skibbity Riz doing? Last time I talked to the trainer, Mr. Goofroll, he said that he was trying to get him into a race, but both times he entered, the horse didn't get in. The really hope. I don't know what happened to the horse after he got claimed. Well, that's what happened. The horse became a jumper. When I talked to the trainer, he said that he's a very average 3-year-old, and that they really hope to finally get him to run on the turf, which was actually the original plan. But when the rains came in, Skibbity Riz's race got taken off the turf and put on the dirt. So the field was cut in half, but he was the best of the horses on the dirt. But yeah, the trainer, he's basically saying that he really hopes to see that horse run on grass. And, he put him in for a race at Hawthorne, a race at Belterra Park, but he wasn't able to get into either. But the horse is doing fine. I mean, considering that they're already excited to, what's the word? Get that horse back into a race. I'd say that he's doing just fine. That's the nice thing about that horse, is that he may not be the most talented, but he's healthy. A new subscriber. Oh my god, we're in the final 25. The best horse I've ever gotten to call the race of. I'm glad you asked, because that has a very simple question or answer. I'm sorry, it's like 11 in the morning at night. My brain's not working. Okay, so Brendan, easily the best thoroughbred that I've ever called by talent, like in terms of how good they were as a racehorse, was a horse named Kitadan. Kitadan. Let me just write that out in the comments. There we go. Kitadan. This horse, he's not a Hall of Famer. So like I've never called a grade 1 winning thoroughbred, but Kitadan is just a really nice horse. Like, he's won 9 times from 34 races. He's currently on a 3-race winning streak. But as a youngster, he did a lot. Like, he sparked an upset and he won the Dueling Grounds Derby, which is a Grade 3 race. He was the first graded stakes winning thoroughbred I ever called. Also, the Dueling Grounds Derby has a purse of $750,000. So that's easily the richest race I've ever had be called. Also, one of the horses he beat in that race was Grand Sonata, who has I think Grand Sonata is he's running in the Arlington Million right now. Yeah, he won the Kentucky Cup Turf, so he's a Group 2 winner. But yeah, Kitadan, he won a major race, the Dueling Grounds Derby. He also won the listed Audubon and Rushaway Stakes. In total, he's earned about $930,000. So he's approaching $1 million. So he's easily the richest I've ever called. So the long and the short of it is that Kitadan is easily the best by talent thoroughbred that I've ever called. In terms of other horses, I've called a few award-winning standardbreds. I called a horse named Ponda Warrior, who won the Dan Patch, which is the biggest standardbred race in Indiana. I called him in a race. Champion 2-year-old pacing filly odds on Hialeah in a qualifier. And for quarter horses, I called You Can Run, who was a grade 1 winner as a 4-year-old, and I called them as an 8-year-old. So those are some of the best I've called by talent. Let's see what the rest is. Speaking of 2-year-old, my friend trains a 2-year-old I love. I like because of love, aka Be Love and Spidey Rival. Oh, okay, 2-year-olds. So they train 2-year-olds because of love and Spidey Rival. Yeah, you're telling exactly. It took him a while after that to get his groove back, but genuinely, he's really starting to look good. I mean, the horses he beat in his most recent start, he beat Gewürztraminer, who's flirted a lot with Graded Stakes Company. Like, he beat a stakes quality allowance race field in his last start. So, and I mean, he's 6 years old and he's still running well. I'd say that Kitadan is slowly kind of finding his groove back. Don't have much to say, but congrats in advance. Your thanks is more than enough. Thank you very much, Lakshamana. Always love your comments. 9,976, so we're inching closer. We're in the final 24. Bravo, bravo, gang, bravo. I have a frosted mare, and I'm trying to breed speed into her. Who's a good sire for less than $30,000 to breed to? Okay, if you want speed. Okay, speedy horse for under 30,000. Let's see what we got here. Where's the stud fee on this horse? Because I need to know if this horse is within your price range. Here's one. What about Jimmy Creed? Jimmy Creed is $7,500 for a life full. Spendthrift Farm, really fast. He produced Casa Creed, Latigo was a pretty good horse. Actually, Latigo is an Indiana horse who won a local Indiana bred stake race and earned over $500,000. So I mean, Jimmy Creed himself was a fast horse. He was like, I think he won the Triple Bend. Private Creed, that's another horse that he produced. So that's one of my first ideas. Run Happy at 70,000 is crazy to think about. Yeah, they shoved that horse down everyone's throats, and then he kind of just disappeared. You couldn't go a race without seeing Run Happy sponsored. Like, it was ridiculous. How is he as a sire anyway? That's what I'm curious of. I know he was a great horse. Just a shame how he was mismanaged. Oh, okay. Private Creed won the Franklin Simpson. Doesn't seem like Jimmy Creed actually breeds fast horses. He breeds kind of middle distance horses, not sprinters. Oh my god, almost 10K. Congrats. Thank you very much, Orca M. Much appreciated. Liberty Run. Liberty Run. I haven't heard that name before. Okay, yeah. Run Happy. He did produce Nutella Fella and Smile Happy. So if you wanted a cheap sprinting sire, then Run Happy would be a good choice if you want. Okay, that's out of your price range. I was gonna say Munnings. Munnings is a great horse, but he's a bit too expensive for you. Ooh, another subscriber. We're really approaching the end. Yopon. That's a good choice. How much is Yopon? I mean, that is a good horse name. Radical Sabbatical, that's catchy. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a good name for a horse. How has that horse run yet? Sassy CW. 25,000? Okay, that horse is a little bit more expensive. Claremont. Claremont's it's a nice little town in California. Hey, British Live Productions, welcome to the show. Oh, okay. Yeah, now that you mention it, Dennis, I think you did tell me about that horse. Damn, Kahoot sucks sometimes. Only a couple more subs to go. Yeah, you're right. Only 22 more subs. I mean, in this stream alone, I've gone up by 10. So as long as I can stay strong, I can really kind of I can wake up to see this. I can't celebrate too loud though. Because my parents are asleep. So that's why I'm kind of whispering right now. Keep it kind of a nice low tone of voice. When's the Woodward Stakes? Let me take a look. It should be in late September. GeoGuessr. Oh, that's interesting. If you watch Race for the Crown, I am in the background of the last episode a few times with my fiance who I proposed to at the Belmont paddock. Oh, that's cool. Congratulations, man. Yeah, you'll have to point that out to me next time because I didn't pay that much attention to the show. I mean, it's fine. It's a fine show. It really sucked in the beginning, though. Really focused on the wrong people, but it picked up. So I'll give it credit where credit's due. It eventually started to get kind of its act together when it stopped talking about that hippy dippy crap with Michael Ivarone. But yeah, once again, Skylar, like seriously, congratulations. Like that's so cool. Awesome milestone sketchy, congratulations. Hey John Royce. Happy to see you on the show. How many Whitney winners have won the Woodward Stakes? Um, let's take a look, shall we? I know that's what Gunrunner did. Gunrunner Life is Good, I believe, did both the Woodward and the Whitney. Yeah, he did. Not McKinsey. Yeah, Gunrunner. Frosted did not. Cross Traffic did not. You think Timberlake will be a good styer? There's just no way to tell, man. No! I lost a subscriber. Oh, I gained one. Yay! Ah. My first plan was the winner's circle if the horse won the Belmont Stakes, but I did it in the paddock as a backup plan. Good idea. A lot. The Whitney Woodward double has been done quite a few times. Nathan, you're called to do a race and you have to get lunch at a fast food restaurant. Where do you go? Like, I have to eat at a fast food restaurant. So, like, I have to rush to a fast food restaurant, eat the food, and then go and call the race with the food in my stomach. Like, get a nice meal, a nice fast food meal before I call a race. Is that the question, Dennis? Or is there some other, like, challenge? Did Wystan's half brother run second to cross traffic at Saratoga? Okay. Where would I go before I call a horse race? I do really like Hardee's. Like, especially like just to get like a nice biscuit before I call a race. A nice Hardee's biscuit. Yep, that is true, Mr. British Lad. I think also White Castle. Yo, what's up, Silent Suzuka? I think like White Castle would also be a fun. I usually like White Castle for dinner, but it just depends. But I think like since most horse racing is in, you know, the early afternoon, I'd get a biscuit from Hardee's and then go and call a race. That sounds like a nice time. For night racing, I'd definitely get some sliders. Who do you think is going to win the Breeders' Cup Classic this year? Assuming he enters, I want Forever Young to get revenge, but I feel like Sovereignty is almost unstoppable to beat. That's a good assessment. Like, I'm always rooting for Forever Young to win, but I just don't think he likes Del Mar. 20 more? Heck yeah. Sovereignty, I think, can close real good. He'll do good. What's another one? Sovereignty is, of course, going to be really hard to beat. Sierra Leone, I think, in the right hands, could. I think Sierra Leone, he's going to like peak at a very odd time. I think if he like peaks in the Breeders' Cup, I think he really could win. Really do like a pull a tiz now. He is that talented. It's just that he's not consistent with his talent. He's good at finishing third or fourth. Not fourth. He finishes third or second. Second or third. It's just that passing that final horse. Oh, Gosger. I'm gonna be honest. I think Gosger is probably gonna go to the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Um, he could probably squeak in to the Breeders' Cup Classic, especially if like Gosger. You know where he'd belong? I think Gosger belongs in the Pennsylvania Derby. If they ran him in the Pennsylvania Derby, get that grade 1, then I think that would open up the possibility of running him in the Classic. And there, I think he'd be in over his head, but he'd make sense. But if they want to go with like the Breeders' Cup Mile, the Dirt Mile, I think that he could totally like just cleave through the Oklahoma Derby, just get an easy win under his belt. The Ellis Park Derby, he could totally dominate that. Um, or he could go for broke and try the Travers Stakes. I visited a horse barn a few years ago, and one of the horses were taken out for training, and its lover, or whatever, started crying loudly. Lol. That's the story. What was the most heartwarming race you ever watched, and why? That's a good question, Skylar T. Um, you know what? In person, okay, in person. Cody's Wish, the 2023 Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. That race, so many emotions. When I was in the paddock for that race, I purposely chose not to be the sign holder for Cody's Wish and instead do Zozos so that I was out of the way. But still, when I saw him walk through with that diamond on his face, I was kind of starstruck by that horse as he just walked by. I just thought to myself, I can't believe it. I'm in the presence of this really great horse. And I just thought, please win. Um, when the race happened, I knew that he was a comer behind horse, so I didn't immediately get worried. Um, but when he ran, as he continued to close, and then like the fight between National Treasure happened, that's kind of when I realized he had a shot. And then the duel throughout the stretch, you would not have wanted to be near me because I was screaming so loud, and it was so kind of unholy the way I was screaming. I was I was a banshee. I was screaming so loud, but when he crossed the wire and I found and the steward's inquiry sign was taken down, I think I lost a year of my life just from the stress of that race. But when it was over, I never felt so warm, just knowing that nothing can be taken away from this. Cody's Wish will forever go out a winner, and Cody saw him do it. And then afterward, days later, when the human Cody sadly passed away, it really recontextualized that race and really added an extra kind of layer of just like we were here for something truly special. It's over, but it'll always live on. So that's the long of and short of it. That race. That's the greatest horse race I ever saw in person. And I know that like a lot of people have seen other really great races, but in my limited experience, exactly, Orca M, it really was a real life movie. Like I haven't seen as many great horse races as some people have. But that I was there at the right time for that. And I'm so grateful that I was. That's a race I'm going to tell my grandkids about. Gosker has only lost to journalism this year, so he might honestly be the third best 3-year-old. Well, one problem with that. Baeza. Those two got to have their own personal battle. For me, the most heartwarming, I have a few. Songs of Spring, the DuPont Stakes, Desert Ride, the Woodbine Oaks, and Straight No Chaser, and the Breeders' Cup. Fair enough. And Monkey Zone, when my best friend won his first race as a jockey. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I cried in each of those races I mentioned. It's good to cry. I remember I was on a phone with my uncle and he said it, and I just dropped my phone saying, no, it's not real. Depending on the race, I can totally understand that reaction. I would love to see Goscar versus Baeza in the Pennsylvania Derby to get a better idea of who is leading the 3-year-old crop. Um, Me too. Like the Pennsylvania Derby sometimes gets the short end of the stick. So I feel like having that race to kind of give Baeza and Goscar the chance to really win a Grade 1 race, that'd be cool. And also, yeah, sovereignty and journalism, they're gonna rest up. They're gonna go to the Travers Stakes. They're gonna go to the what's the word? The Pacific Classic. Mine was when Miguel Clement won his first race after his father died. Yeah, honestly, deterministic, the way that he's been running, I'm just so glad. Like, I'm so glad that Miguel has taken up the position despite, being put into it earlier than he ever would have wanted. That whole saga, it's been so tragic, but also so kind of uplifting seeing Clement's horses continue to do great. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think there's a horse in the world that could beat Sovereignty in the Travers. I mean, the Jim Dandy was a perfect tune-up. He won that race without breaking a sweat, no matter what that Steve maniac tells you. That was an easy win. Yeah, that's the kind of just the modern trend. But hey, you never know. I'd love to see them run again. That'd be pretty cool. But we'll see what happens. The Penn Derby can be kind of a sneakily underappreciated race, in my opinion, because the Penn Derby is it's the last 3-year-old tenant. It's the last Grade 1 for 3-year-olds. Thoughts on Uma Musume so far? Well, I've watched 2 seasons of it, um, and I think that the second season is better than the first season. Um, it's slowly picking up for me and working its way into my heart. I'd say it's a very creative and well-executed show. A bit silly, bit nuts, but I like it. Uh, sure, go on ahead. Drop it, Skylar, and, have a good night. That's a good pick, Skylar. I know it's early, but Miguel seems like he's doing more modern spots for horses with an old school twist, and I love it. The Uma Musume movie, I do wanna do that. Like, second season is a lot better, but the third will be better, and the movies are good as well. Here's my thing, um, like, I've heard the movies are really good, and I really do wanna watch them. Like, the only reason why I haven't watched the OVA in the movie is just because I haven't had the time yet, and but, like, when I decide to just relax, everyone give The Racing Jockey a follow. Um, when I have the chance, um, what I do really wanna watch it because I've seen little clips of, like, the animation, and oh my god, the animation's, like, jaw-dropping from what I've seen at least. Oh, yeah, Dennis. Dennis, yeah, it's sick as hell, I believe it. Dennis, I do recommend Instagram. Instagram's a great way for me to has been one of the best ways for me to reconnect with people. Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, that's the reason why I'm even doing this live stream right now, is because all the content I ended up making of stuff adjacent to Uma Musume, like, exploded in popularity, and by doing that, what's the word, like, because of that, so many more people have watched my videos and are subscribing literally right now. Good night all night, Skylar. Like, right now, I'm slowly working on a, new video about Silent Suzuka and Precious Passion, and I'm hoping to release it in the next few days. Um, with the same in the same vein as the American Pharoah versus Justify video, I hope to yes, the race game brought me here. Welcome, Lord Yu, to the horse racing stream. If we have more horse racing fan videos, etc., anything, it's all great. Exactly, Dennis. That's why I'm really kind of excited about this. I've been subbed to your channel for 2 years, though to be fair, I have been an Uma fan for 8 years, lol. So the explosion of fans is something I'm still getting used to. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it wasn't popular before, it's just that it was a local show. So all the popularity was, with Japanese fans. Now with the global release, it's like, oh my god, people know Goldship. My favorite girl is now everyone's favorite girl. I think Skibidi Riz is the main reason you're increasing in fame. That is part of it. Actually, Mr. Orca, you don't have to wait. Right now, you can check it. I have a video where I pit American Pharaoh with Justify, and they race. Like, it's already up. Here's the link to it in the chat below. Yeah. Skibidi Riz was an absolute blessing to your channel. Absolutely. That's what really got the good man, Orca. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's Skibidi Riz video. You are absolutely right. That was what kicked it off. I mean, that video on its own, about 1,000 people subscribed directly because of that video. Like 200,000 people watched, 1,000 hit the subscribe button. I mean, that video has also made me like $200 in ad revenue. Yeah, nothing short of a blessing, Skibidi Riz. I mean, I can just remember I was so anxious while that video was going on. Like, or not, well, while the race call was going, because I knew that, like, as the race continued, that Cullen versus Sinzabi, you know what? I really do like that video idea. Hey, Racing Empire, welcome. I really like that concept, Colin versus Sinzabi, because they were the best horses before Man of War. I personally really like them, and even though like it may not, let's say, get as many views, I think that's a fun matchup, and also very hard. Like that would not be an easy debate. Um, if you watch Debo, you will know Steel Ball Run. I've never watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Damn, you know ball. I didn't even know that. Like, I knew like they had very similar records. 15 for Sinzabi, and the only reason why he's not undefeated is because he was literally tranquilized. He was literally drugged before a race, to make him lose. Only reason why that ever happened. Even then, he still finished third. And then Colin, well, he retired early. Dark Mirage versus Ruffian. That is a tempting one, although I do find it kind of hard to talk about Ruffian in any capacity. One thing you'll never see me do is a Ruffian versus Foolish Pleasure video, because I think that match race and that whole tragedy just deserves to be left in the past. So I originally like really thought that I would make a video. I even simulated the race, like I have the footage of it, but I ended up like just kind of leaving it. I just abandoned it. Like I made the video, even scripted it, even tried calling the race, and I just never finished it. Because when I proposed the idea and I told my friends about it, they were like, "Just leave it in the past." And I was like, "You know what? Okay." So after that point, I decided I would never make that video. and just leave it as it is. The amazing thing too about the Skibidi Riz blowing up is that it wasn't just a meme content creator or something, it was a legit horse racing lover. Yeah, like, that's the thing that I'm happy about is that, like, I posted the video on my channel expecting a couple thousand views, but I wanted it just for myself because I'm a race caller and I wanna use my and on my channel, if I want to, I'll just include some of my favorite race calls. So, I thought that this made perfect sense. Um, I put it in and, well, everyone else did the rest. Funny how a name can change things. It really can. Favorite Philly ever? I love this question. Let me take a look at my database. Um, hmm. There are so many great Phillies out there. Um, well, off the top of my head, I really like Beholder. I wouldn't say she's my favorite, but she's really good. Um, see, Beholder definitely one of my favorites. Vodka. Go for Wand. You, sir, are a masochist. Rich Strike versus Kaleidoscopio. She's a man-eater? Yeah, okay, that's a good choice. So for those kinda out of the loop, She's a Man-Eater is one of the best horses to race in Jamaica. Um oh, didn't realize you were a girl. Sorry about that. I don't really know the genders of orcas off the top of my head. But okay, you, ma'am, are a masochist. Um, yeah, she's a man-eater off like, even if she wasn't as talented of a mare as she was, has probably one of the best names of any horse in Jamaica or even just the world. But she won like every major like Jamaican race, and I believe she did indeed defeat male horses. So her name really added an extra layer to it. Rich Strike, I think, will get a different matchup. I don't think Kaleidoscopio would be my first choice, although I do really want to do something with Kaleidoscopio. Let me get back to Dennis on this one because he had a really insightful comment here. Remember too, Nathan, when you started, I told you to be like Tony Kalo. Excuse me, sorry about that. San Pellegrino came up, witty and funny and creative. And if you did it right, it'd be perfect, not just calling the race perfectly. And Skibidi Riz is a perfect example. I do agree with that because, like, for most of the, because I called the skeleton of the race. I did the thing. I had fun doing it. But towards the end, as it became very clear that Skibidi Riz had a real chance of winning, I really tried to insert a lot of Gen Z dialogue that was also appropriate. And I really was just so proud that, you know, that those lines like Skibidi Riz needs to lock in and Skibidi Riz, yes, 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 are now quotable. Like people are quoting these things. And that really means a lot to me. That like a quick off the cuff just quip like that, lives on. Cause like, when you're a commentator, you want people to remember what you say, even if it is silly. Like people still remembered like "Tis now wins for America," or uh, there's one I'm thinking of, but I literally can't say it because it's trademarked. You all know what I'm talking about. Um, what's another one? People still remember "Arg." Skibidi Riz is the alpha of the leader is the funniest for me. Let me tell you, I'm gonna be fully honest. That was a total misspeak. Verstappen Red Bull gives you wings? Absolutely. Arr. Turtling was without a doubt my favorite filly, and I love her so much. You know what? That is a great choice. Terlingua, what a beautiful horse. So important to the breed. She produced such a great horse. She was precocious, beautiful, and what a name. Dwayne Lucas had a really great affinity for mares. Crimson Saint, that's another good choice. I'm glad that's a Ruffian broke a lot of hearts. Absolutely, she did. My favorite part of the Skibbity Riz situation is how it happened. How he happened to break his mane the one time you were in the booth. Well, part of it is I orchestrated it. Um, I knew the horse was entered, and when I picked her, or when I picked the race. Like I literally told John Dooley, who's the main announcer at Horseshoe Indianapolis, John, please let me call Skibbity Riz. He thought, oh, that's funny. That's viral. I told him about it, and he was like, oh, that's funny. Yeah, let's give you a shot. He really wanted me to have this shot, to have a funny viral moment, to have like a fun race to call. He really kind of was like wishing for me to succeed. And that takes so much humility for a race caller. Because some race callers in that position would be like, like would say no, like this is my opportunity. Or be like, no, you still have a lot to learn here. But he gave me my chance to flourish. And I'm just so grateful he let me have that chance. Um, because, now this is basically what I'm not rolling in the mud over this, like because of that one race call. And that's kind of the beauty of being a race caller is that I've called 176 horse races. That's not a lot. But you know what? All it took was one. That one. And look at how far it's gone. And I have to thank all you for that because without you, I couldn't have done it. Landalucy, yeah, that horse, I really try not to think about her because she hurts my soul. Could have been an all-time great, absolutely. Do you think that in order to understand and become a commentator in horse racing, you need to seek or acquire an education, or would shadowing and studying be more than enough? Um, like shadowing and studying under another race announcer, absolutely, that would be enough. You don't need a formal education necessarily. Like the biggest thing about being a race caller is just like getting a vote. Like probably the biggest thing would be like vocabulary. That's the thing, like English. Like that's the one thing I do have the luck of because I went through, got a high school diploma and, gone through college is that I have a lot of opportunities to kind of work on like English literacy. And that helps with race calling because it gives you more words to play with. But I mean, Vic Stauffer, um, a great race caller, he has an eighth grade education and he came out just fine for the most part. Like his articulation of words was never a problem. So like for a lot of announcers, all it takes is just one mentor to really guide and have them flourish. I imagine it's more difficult to get recommendations if you have I've practiced on your resume. Um, yeah, it's not easy. Like, it really is all about getting that one person. The reason why I ever got my first chance was, because someone recorded me practicing a race call, and then they posted it on social media and added the Twitter account of the track I was calling, which was 2 hours away, and the guy's like, responds with, "Hey, I'm looking for a backup." So I come a few days later, and he's like, "Hey, this is a small field. How about you call this one?" And he just throws you to the dogs. And that's kind of how most race callers start, is that a random older race caller will say, "Oh, you're practicing? Okay. You call the next race." And they'll just no practice whatsoever, they'll just throw you into it without any preparation. And that's kind of the best way to do it. It's just kind of either you can do it or you can't. And that's what I found out is that I could do it. It's so sad to me that nobody talks about Terlingo's racing career, or at least I feel like it. Yeah, that's unfortunate because when you produce a horse as great as Stormcat, being such a good, precocious, like 2-year-old who's like a record setter and like beat boys and all that, it does get overshadowed. And you are right, that is unfortunate. Really happy for you. Thank you so much. Speed of Secretariat and Crimson say was faster than many of the boys. Yeah, that's nothing short of a great horse. You're very much interested in me race calling. So wait, do you want to become a race caller, or are you interested in like just the art of it? Made me interested in race calling. Look, if you want to be a race caller, like ask as many questions as you want, like bother me, like annoy me to bits. I won't get annoyed. Like I will gladly I'll help you. Like give you all the advice I can take from my few years as a race caller. I've learned a lot about classic racehorses from your video, Sketchy. That iceberg was so great. I really am glad you brought that up because that iceberg took so much out of me. It took 14 months to create. And when the video is the one where we're moving to Belmont, probably yes, eventually. When I made that iceberg video, that took 14 months. That is, insane. And when I made the video and I completed it, I of course was so proud of it. It's the best video I've ever made, the video I put the most effort into, and I was kind of disappointed at the time because it didn't get as many views as I would have wanted. And I'm not going to be like, oh, woe is me, because clearly nowadays things are different with, clearly the success I'm getting. But the reason why I was so disappointed in that specifically was because that was the video I put my most heart into. And some of my most popular videos are the ones that are not my best. Like I recently got rid of a video that has 30,000 views called Mysterious Racehorse Deaths. And that video was one of the worst I ever made because it was poorly researched and it was just kind of rushed. But that video got 30,000 views and still got a lot of comments. But then on the other hand, this video where I looked through every nook and cranny, it got 1,000 views. And 1,000 views is far from bad, but I really wanted it to be, watched by a lot of people because I want a lot of people to learn about classic horses. And that was the greatest thing I ever put into it. So whenever people bring up the video and talk about it, I really do appreciate it. So thank you, John, and thank you, Orca, again, because that doesn't annoy me, Zeke. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about yourself. Does it annoy you? There is one way. If you make an account on equibase.com, you can have a virtual stable. And when you make an account there, you can do this thing called virtual stable where you can add a horse to it. And what it does is that it emails you whenever the horse works out or gets entered into a race. That's how I keep up with Skibbity Riz, is that I get emails from Equibase. Also, equibase.com is just a good database in general. It's like the database for horse racing. So here's a link right here of his profile. You can go and view it there. It shows all his races, his workouts, and if you make an Equibase account, you can get on. You can add him to a virtual stable and get notified. So I hope that helps. You know what could be fun? A video of yourself hanging upside down for about 5 minutes, and here's your title: calling a horse race upside down. That would be. I actually really like that idea. I wouldn't do it live. I wouldn't do unless I went to Canterbury Downs, I wouldn't do an upside down race call. But in my own free time on a TV screen, that would be hilarious. I may have to try that. The only thing I have to wonder is how do I keep my body upside down? I guess I maybe rested on a couch. Yeah. In content creation, it doesn't matter how much effort you put into one video. There are other factors like humor and relatable stuff. Yeah, and I get it. So and I know that at the end of the day, content creation is just really unpredictable. I know that, but I can still have my lamentations about it. But yeah, it can be like the Skippy Riz video. That video had just the perfect touch of humor. It was straightforward, simple, and it was posted at the perfect time. Luck, humor, and perfect titling all came together and made a viral video. That wasn't the case with the Kentucky Derby iceberg. The Canadian Triple Crown is made up of the Queen's Plate, which right now is in it's in late August. Then 3 weeks later, the Prince of Wales Stakes at Fort Erie on dirt gets run, and then I think another 4 or 5 weeks later, the Breeder Stakes, which is a mile and a half on grass. Yeah, all 3 races are in different services. Yeah, just hang off of bed or a couch and video you split screen the race, and then just video yourself going over it before a race, and then call it upside down. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that at some point. Like if I'm real, like when I'm really bored, I'll just video myself doing an upside down race call. That would maybe I'll do that for the Q&A. Let's see. I know you posted another thing. Being a race caller would be awesome, I think, but there's not a lot of opportunities in the state I'm in. The nearest racetrack is an hour away. Actually, out of curiosity, and if you are comfortable, what state do you live in? And only say this if you're comfortable saying it, because then I can outline your opportunities. New subs hit. Come on, Seabiscuit. Yep, let's do this. Ironically, as a practice, I've been calling room matches in Uma Musume, watching races I can find, and sometimes I'll mute the audio and speak over it, and then note what I need to work on. You know what? That's kind of how. Let me tell you a story. So my first mentor was Pete Aiello. He currently calls at Gulfstream Park, and he's called at like a dozen other racetracks. Watching all the way from Portugal. Hello from Portugal. I've always been curious about that. I live in a state of hell. Yeah, it's not my favorite state. Right next to Iowa. Where was I going with this? But Pete Aiello, he currently calls at Gulfstream Park. He calls the Florida Derby and the Pegasus World Cup. And how he started was with a video game. He played this old little computer game. Basically his own Uma Musume. And his practice was calling on that video game. That's how it began. And then his father would always yell at him to shut up. We laugh about it now. But yeah, he would call on that video game as a kid, and that was how his practice started. And then he got his first opportunities when he went to college in the same place I did, Arizona, and he called at the county fairs. And then it just kind of continued from there until he finally hit his dream track, Gulfstream Park. So practice calling with video games is a real strategy. You are living in Pennsylvania? Well, okay. Depending on where in Pennsylvania, there are a few ways you could do this. If you live near Penn National, their announcer's pretty old, so he'd probably let you call one. Ooh, we're in the final 10, everybody. Let's do this. He'd probably let you call one. I also know the guy who runs the track, so I can always, suggest a name. If you live near Parks Racing, I'm not sure if they'd let you call race, but I know their announcer, Jessica Paquette, and I know that she's very friendly. She's very open to like people visiting her in the booth. So like, if you ever really wanted to, then like she can invite you up. You can talk to her for a race. She can give you advice, because she has one of the best gigs in horse racing, in my opinion. And if you name drop me like Nathan Klein to her, she'll know you're in good hands because we're good friends. Jessica Paquette, nothing but nice things to say about her. It's funny because there's an Uma Musume game on Roblox I've called for before, just not on video. Makes sense. But if you live near Erie, if you live more like kind of western, you're probably near Presque Isle. Presque Isle, you'd probably just have to go there and just get friendly with people. I don't know anyone from Presque Isle, but Presque Isle is a kind of a low key enough track that they may give you a shot to call one over there. Oh, Mohegan. Okay. That's harness. However, potentially in that area, there are also Pennsylvania county fairs. And let me tell and if you're willing to do standardbred racing, which you should, if you wanna be a race caller, you gotta call any kind of horse race. If you're willing to, there's some county fair Pennsylvania racing, and that would be probably one of the easiest ways to get live experience. That is kind of funny, Dennis. But, there are some Pennsylvania county fairs that run, and I feel like if you just walked up to someone from there and said, "Hey, I'm an aspiring track announcer and I wanna call one," they'd probably say, "Okay, you call this one," because it's so low key and so casual. But I've also never gone to Pennsylvania for that reason. But if it's anything like Ohio or Indiana, where I've called it many county fairs, um, then it should be as simple as that, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Okay, right now, um, you can go to the Erie County Fair in Wattsburg, Pennsylvania, the Wayne County Fair in Honesdale, the Washington County Fair in Washington, Pennsylvania, and the Great Stoneboro Fair in Stoneboro, Pennsylvania. Those are all going on right now. Those racetracks are going on right now. And also just for future, here, just here's a schedule of all the fairs in Pennsylvania. Find one that's close enough to you on a day that you're free, and just schmooze. Just make a good impression. Sometimes all you have to say is, "Hey, I'm an aspiring track announcer. Can you help me?" And let me tell you, people are really kind. So I really do believe it. Really nice. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Part of the reason why I'm trying to be as giving as this is because that's the reason I'm even here right now. The whole reason I ever called my first horse race was because some guy who had never heard me call a race before in my life, gave me my first shot. He just was like, "Hey, this race has only 5 horses. You do it." And that was it. And that set me up for life. That was all that was needed for me to kinda get every opportunity and every connection. It was that one act of kindness. Heck, right now, I finished up an internship, and the reason I ever got that internship was because I sat at a bar with the person who runs the racetrack, and he saw me, and he said and I looked really hungry, and he said, "You know what? Here, have my pizza." Not like a slice of pizza, he let me eat his whole pizza pie because I was young and hungry. And he gave me his phone number, and then 2 years down the line, the internship happens. It really is that magical in horse racing. It's also about race calling niceness. Handicapping is totally the opposite. Yeah, handicapping, it can be very I totally get it, but yeah, if you find the right people in horse racing, they'll give you the world, and you hold on to them for dear life. You could do a good video idea, beginner's guide to race calling, could go over simple vocabulary and terms, certain positions and things to focus on, and maybe do's and don'ts. I've thought about it. Um, like, what's the word? The only reason why I haven't done it yet is because I'm comparatively very inexperienced. I mean, I've called 170 races, which isn't a lot for a race caller. So I'm not sure how, I mean, I do know the basics and a few do's and don'ts. But I'm not fully sure. I may need to get a little bit more experience under my belt, but I would really like to. That would actually be a cool video. Okay, this is just nuts. RDR2 is known for its realism and attention to detail and blah, blah, blah. My question is, are the horses' family jewels accurate? I'm going to say no. Not really. I mean, okay, they're not complete. It's not like they're completely wrong, but I think the biggest change is the color. And they droop too much, they're colored too much like a human. Most in my experience, I mean, Horses don't wear clothes. They just let it all out there. Most of the horses I've met, it's solid black, and it's usually uptight towards the body. So I'd say no. You really never you never know what kind of questions you're going to get asked. So thank you for making things interesting, Mr. Ice. That was disturbing. I think after that I need a beer. You said it best, Orca. That is a question. Anyways, let's back to the cool stuff. Okay, Mr. Kiwi Bird says, Skibbity Riz, where are you? Chicago. Where is the next race for Skibbity Riz? I can't tell you. They've been trying to enter that horse for about a week now, but the races they've entered just haven't run. Like, you can enter a horse in a race, but there's no guarantee the horse gets in. So they've been trying, but the horse hasn't been top choice yet. So they're hoping within the next week to run them. It's just they need a race to be like, all right, come on in. I guess they're discriminatory. Hey, look, I can't wait either. Look, I can't wait either. I won't be there to see it live, but I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited about it too, because I mean, like, Skibbity Riz. Also, big expectations. I mean, what's next for this horse? 8 more subs. You said it best, Orca. Frankly, I can't wait. Like, it's been what, an hour? And it's only been an hour 20. I mean, it's midnight now, but does he need more publicity? I don't think so. But I feel like there are some ways to really push him forward. But I'm pretty I mean, the video I made on him has 200,000 views. There are videos and posts about that horse that have millions. I think that horse sells himself pretty well, if I say so myself. It wasn't my marketing genius that made him popular. It was the fact his name is Skibbity Riz. That simple. None of my genius made that happen. Speaking of Gen Z things in horse racing, Griffin winning today was awesome. Absolutely. I love Griffin Johnson. He's exactly what we need in horse racing, and it's really nice to just see him have another good horse. Because, that's the thing. It's it's infinite content. Because every horse that he has the opportunity, for another thing for people to fall in love with. It just keeps adding up. And it's just I can't wait. The Iceberg video is a classic. It's a cornerstone of amazing research, and I hope more people see it over time. Thanks, John. The commentary really brought it out. Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. I was calling it nervous. I once saw Skibbity Riz post on Twitter get nearly 100,000 likes. Not nearly, it did. 100,000 likes. Yeah, that horse, that's when I knew that horse had star power. After that day. And that's why I was like, I got to be a part of this. I knew right then and there. I had no choice. Skibbity bop bop bop, yes. Silky Sullivan versus Whirlaway. Now that is a great matchup. Whirlaway, no doubt in my mind. Silky Sullivan was a cool horse, but he actually was far from the best. Skibbity Riz is 3 years old. Look, when Griffin showed up the first time, I didn't just hate him, I despised him. I thought that he was a jerk, and I'm very brash about my thoughts, and those were my thoughts back then. Look, at least you calm down. Let me tell you, though, Whirlaway is probably the most underrated Triple Crown winner, right there with Citation. Yep, that is correct, Anthony. Whirlaway, he is the whole package. He was beautiful, crazy, he could do anything. Also, he had one of the best nicknames of a racehorse, Mr. Longtail. And that horse was beauty incarnate. You said it best, Brendan. That is one of the coolest and most underrated races ever. I mean, he walks out of the gate. He can't even eat dust. He's so far back. And he comes up and he moves by horses like they're walking. He moves he makes 2 strides for every horse's 1. Oh, you did. I'd love to see that. Did you make sure to make his tail like really long? Um, like I love to see that. Like, send that to me on like Discord, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you have. Like, I want to see that because Whirl Away is a. It's hard not to swear when talking about that horse. I mean, his own owner said it best. That horse is crazy, stupid, ornery, but the most brilliant horse I've ever met. See, so I guess also for anyone curious, I do have a Discord server. It's not super active, but we do try to do weekly games together, and competitions. On Instagram, Nathan Klein Horse Racing. Klein spelled like Calvin Klein. For anyone who wants to give me a follow there, you can. And then on Twitter, or X as some people like to call it, you can follow me on Nathan the Caller. Agree, great horse, Orca M. See, this is why I love my fans, because you guys appreciate horses that not everybody knows. Like, for all the Secretariats and the Far Laps, Whirl Away doesn't get as much attention as he deserves. That horse was just insane. I think there are so few horses that I talk about that I think are the entire package. Whirl Away was the whole package. He had personality, beauty, grace, speed, everything. When Griffin gave Sandman a bath and ice bucket thing, I loved him, and he showed me how much he loves horse racing itself, and not just into horse racing for publicity, but was actually involved. Exactly. And Sandman just has ran over his head, and people can get discouraged, especially when they don't know why they aren't winning. But him winning today was just awesome. Like, he never gives up. Like, Griffin's an optimist no matter what. If he's gelded, he's gelded. You can't undo that. Let's say I have a horse, a champion horse, but he's a gelding, and I want him to be a breeding stallion. What do? There's only one thing that you can do, Lucas. Did you freeze his sperm? Seriously, that is literally the only question I can have, because I did know this horse. Can't I clone the horse? Well, if it's a standard bred, actually no. You can't clone race horses. You can clone them for other reasons, but no. Tomorrow I'm looking for Whirl Away vids. The closest thing I've done to a full Whirl Away vid was the Iceberg, and also I gave him a segment on crazy race horses. Is it okay to be into horse racing all because of Uma Musume? Absolutely. Any reason to be into horse racing, in my opinion, is a justified reason. Like, people are into a lot of things for reasons that they consider silly, but every reason to enjoy horse racing, I think, is valid. And all that I care about is that you guys love horses running in circles like I do. I don't care how you discovered it. Whether it's girls in dresses or because you want a $2 parlay. We all love the same sport here. I'm not going to be picky about how people discover it. Lucas, I guess another thing also to note, cloning is illegal in horse racing, so you can't clone. The best thing you could do is breed a full brother or sister. But like, I knew this Arabian horse named Honeyproof. Oh yeah, that documentary is literally the documentary about Whirl Away. Brilliant. I love that documentary to death. I know what you're talking about. But like, there was a horse named Honeyproof. He had great genes, but he was kind of he was kind of nuts. And he wasn't running as good as he could have. So anyways, what happened is that they castrated him, they gelded him. But just in case, because of how good his genes were, they have 50 vials of his sperm to to breed with, because you can do that in Arabian racing. You can freeze sperm. You can't in thoroughbreds, but you can freeze Arabian horse sperm. So they did that just in case. He got way better as a gelding, and that's basically it. That's the only way you could do it. Breediness was absurd, absolutely. You can clone horses, yeah, you can clone them. Final five, everybody. And no, you can't clone just to breed. There's very strict rules about that. Colton and Citation, those are some good horses. Colton was so good that he basically pinch hit for Citation when he was out. Really underrated horse. Citation was underrated too because he wasn't very pretty. You know, he was just a well-made machine. That was the thing with Citation. He didn't have the big red color. He wasn't super flashy when he ran. He was just literally a masterpiece in construction. And that perfect piece of machinery was designed to race. Eddie Arcura said it best when he talked about how basically that horse was, he could ride the horse like a Cadillac. Some horses take so long to accelerate. Like some horses like Sierra Leone. Yeah, like Sierra Leone, he's a one-run horse. If you stop his acceleration, then he's not going to win. But Citation, you can stop him, go again, stop, go again. Like you could you can drive that horse like a car. And that is such an amazing talent to be able to accelerate and not and decelerate so fast and just like do it like it's nothing. That's really hard on an animal. Especially when so many horses are kind of momentum based. And if you hold that momentum, that horse loses. Not Citation, however. Why is there no Mongolian racing horse? Well, they don't breed thoroughbreds. All the horses in Mongolia are Mongolian ponies. And there is a race, just not like a raid. Oh, Ice, you've had a rough day, haven't you? Like, they're Mongolian ponies, and they're used in a race, the Mongol Derby, but it's like a marathon that's done over. Yeah, there is a lot of inbreeding in horse racing, unfortunately. But I blanked. Sorry, I was too busy reading the misclicks about incest. My God, this live chat. I was asking because Skibidi Riz is a gelding, so I guess his blood line ends there. Yeah, it does. Also, you wouldn't want to breed a Skibidi Riz. He's not a good racehorse. That's not even me being like a jerk or anything. That horse won a $20,000 maiden claiming race. No one in their right mind would probably want to breed to him. You can breed horses related to him. Yeah, there are consequences to inbreeding. Some studies, depending on the study, have linked it to soundness problems. You know, like it's just a general thing with any form of incest or inbreeding. Inbreeding leads to genetic potential for genetic mutations that aren't supposed to exist. And just abnormalities that you wouldn't get if, you bred outside your gene pool. That's why like the royal family was so ugly. I mean, there was one member of the family that had like black lungs because they were just so horribly inbred. Yeah, no, if you don't really need me to tell you this, but like inbreeding's not good. Incest is bad. Don't do it. Oh my God, we're in the final four. We're really in the home stretch, people. Arthur Morgan. It's crazy how influential Vasara Domino was given his short time at stud. Yeah, you're kind of right. That horse was really good. Underappreciated. He was also abused. Like, he had a jockey who rode him a lot, and that rider basically beat the crap out of him. So much that horse, needed to be blindfolded so the jockey could ride him. Tiger Roll is a gelding. Yes, he is. Someone earlier mentioned Dr. Fager in Damascus. Let me tell you, Dr. Fager is one of my favorite racehorses to ever live. And I personally believe that Dr. Fager is the fastest racehorse at a mile or less. And you can never convince me otherwise. I believe Dr. Fager could beat Secretariat. I think that it's possible. Damascus, he was a worthy adversary. But one-on-one, mano-a-mano, Dr. Fager always wins. You need 2 horses to beat Dr. Fager. You can never beat him with just one. Not one horse can beat Dr. Fager. It's a team effort. And that, to me, is an indicator of a brilliant racehorse. I mean, that horse, without breaking, basically, his jockey stood still one day, and that horse carried 134 pounds. And the time he set for that race is still the world record for 1 mile on dirt. You know, a pretty common distance. That horse is a freak. The good doctor, like Secretariat, is like what most people think when they think greatest racehorse ever for obvious reasons, but Dr. Fager is for like people who know ball. He's for people who really dig into racing's archives. When they dig deep, they find out that it's Dr. Fager who's one of the best. Secretariat was the greatest 3-year-old to ever race, and 2-year-old. Dr. Fager was the greatest older horse to ever race. He was also the greatest horse below a mile. Welcome to the Discord server, y'all. Let's see. Orca is a feral and autistic edgelord extraordinaire. Also a very ugly orca whale because I look like a human. You know what? That's based. Welcome to the Autism Club. I am too. You're cool. Dragon Blizzard. Welcome to the crew. Okay, let's see. You know what horse is underrated? Sham. Yeah, Sham is underrated. Without Secretariat, Sham is a Triple Crown winner. I mean, Sham is still the second fastest Kentucky Derby contender or participant. He just lost to Secretariat. What an unfortunate horse. Had an 18-pound heart, but Secretariat had a 22-pound heart. What an extraordinary piece of bad luck. You know what? Sham versus Aladar. That needs to happen. I need to make that happen. Final 3, everybody. Let's do this. Yeah, okay, let me add that to my racing battle list. Sham versus Aladar. That is a battle that needs to happen. Oh, hang on, let me just... Brendan from the chat. Welcome, Brendan. Let me see. For those who are curious about my Discord server, here is another... Here we are. Again, for anyone who's curious, you can join there. Journalism most underrated of the 21st century. I can see that. Let's just see what happens as he continues. Journalism is a very misfortunate horse. Second best of his era. But damn is he good. I love Journalism. He is a classic racehorse. If he does that, I really want him to. I'm really rooting for Journalism to do that. Like, Journalism is a great horse. Hey, Sylvia. It's great to see you. Thank you very much, but we still have 3 more to go, my friend. He's cute and cracked. Hello, Mon Mob. Welcome to the show. How are y'all doing? Meep Meep Awoo. Welcome, Meep Meep Awoo. Wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? Actually, wait a minute. Because I think I follow one of you guys. I follow... Which one? Oh, okay, that's you. I knew I recognized your face because, like, I followed your artwork. Like, I know your artwork from, Yep, okay, now I remember. Okay, yes. I remember because I originally commented when you made that Dr. Fager and Damascus artwork, and I was like, that's amazing. And ever since then, I've just really respected your work. So, yeah, Marta, like, bravo. Glad to have you a part of this. Blue Swords, that's a good one, Brendan. That's a really good one. Like, not many people bring that horse up. But yeah, Blue Swords, he ran against Count Fleet 6 times. Like, 7 times, actually. He lost, and he was second in the Kentucky Derby in the Preakness. He was a real unfortunate horse. Poor guy. See, hi, Sketchy the Horse Guy. How are you? You know, I'm really great, Mon Mob. I'm happy you're a part of this. Welcome to the show. And yeah, journalism is cute and on crack. Both, they're not mutually exclusive. I've met cute people on crack. Journalism versus sovereignty, well, that's already playing out in real life. I don't need to simulate a race there. Point Given versus a Fleet Alex. And Swaps versus Nashua. Those are good choices. Yeah, it took me a second to kind of piece it all together, but better late than never, am I right? Oh yeah, here we go. Just give you a like on the Saudi Cup, on your Saudi Cup art. That race is one of the greatest races I've ever watched. Forever Young versus friggin' Romantic Warrior. Some of the best horses. Oh yeah, that simulation. Well, it was fun at the time. 2 more, everybody. Man, this is exciting. I really have fostered a lot of great people here, all here to enjoy the sport of horse racing. Let me tell you, I love Romantic Warrior. I love that horse so much. I love a good gelding. Like, should have been a horse girl instead of a horse guy, rookie mistake. Well, I can't really about that. Look, so I was kind of not born a girl. Now I know that I could, if I wanted to, become a girl, but I've never really wanted to. Like, that's just a me thing. Like, I know people who did, and I'm happy for them, but I've always just been happier as a guy. So, yeah, like I can't be unfortunately, not in this life. I mean, I can be a girl boss if you want me to, but I'm a horse guy. Unfortunately, when I made this YouTube channel 6 years ago, I didn't exactly foresee that I didn't exactly foresee that being a girl, horse girl, would have been more effective. But look, if you want great horse girl content creators, they're not hard to find. There are some great horse girls who make great videos. No, it's true, but imagine how much crap would have gotten if they let anyone else win. Let's see, I think Citation would have swept anyone in that field except maybe Whirlaway. Yeah, that's a worthy debate. I think Citation really is closer to Secretariat than most people realize. Like, of course, they had to simulate Secretariat, but you know what? I don't have to do that. I could. Me, Orca, and Pankyon are here. We all draw horse girls. Finally, my people. Finally, we can get some, like, if you guys want, let me just, holy crap. Sorry, okay, I just checked the cigar drawing. Damn, you are really good, Orca. That is brilliant work. You really made a cigar into an all-American girl. Only thing she's missing is a Joe Camel. That is amazing. Finally, some spectacular artists to join the server. Bravo, bravo. And also, finally, some great horse girl art of American horses. Jim Dandy versus Keen Ice, that's actually a pretty clever battle. Bold Ruler and Fair Play. Brendan, I really like that idea. It's a little... comparing the two would be a little difficult, but I do like it. Yeah, I mean, Bold Ruler would win by a mile, but it would still be fun. Wow. You guys are jerks. Wow. You guys are evil. Dropping that fast. That is evil. But you know what? That does give us an excuse to talk more. So, for 1 second, I was at 10,000 subscribers. And then you monsters took it away from me. This was my moment, and you stole it from me. Yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah, life is unfair, but I'll laugh it off. This is bound to happen. Yeah, people are just jerks. It'll come back. In the meantime, we can continue talking horse racing. So the live chat, that was exciting. Just sub, thanks Justin Y, very much appreciated. Keep on keeping on, you'll get there eventually. Look, I'm a tough gelding. Actually, no, I'm not a gelding. I'm not a eunuch. But I'm a war horse. I come back, I run week in, week out, stack up a little bit of earnings every single time. I blame YouTube and their dev team. You know what? That's a good thing to do. Blame YouTube. Blame the one-armed man. Let's see. Okay, let's get through some of the girls. Here we are. Meep Meep. Okay, so we have a ruffian. You know, I really like this one. Okay, so I just saw the ruffian artwork, Miss Meet Me Bawu. I guess also one thing also, I really kind of I've always wanted more like more horse girls of color in the series. Like I know there's like what's the word? Like I know we have like El Condor Pasa, you know, she's like Spanish, and Narita Bryan, but I don't think we have enough, in my opinion. I think we need a little bit more diversity in the in terms of like Uma Musume, and I think you could really have a lot of fun with that. So I really do kind of like this drawing you made here of like, you know, like making Ruffian like, you know, a black woman. Like it makes sense. She was a jet black horse, but also it's just a fun design. He, Amazon, and Chris S. That's a good point. But those are only two examples. You know, it's kind of funny, but also kind of dark. When people were talking about Ruffian, they mentioned one person said that if Ruffian was a woman, she ought to be a, and then they said the D slur. So that was basically their politically incorrect way of saying that if Ruffian was a woman, she'd be a lesbian. So if anyone wants to do the whole Uma Musume Yuri thing, Ruffian would probably be one of the easiest to get away with if you know deep horse lore. But at the same time, people do horse Yuri all the time. I guess since I'm talking about it, I might as well mention my opinion on horse Yuri, and that is, I don't really care. People can do what they want. I'm always going to find it a little weird, like some of the shipping weird, because I'm going to think of the horse first and not the human. But I also know that, like, that's not how most Uma fans work. Yeah, no, Skibidi Riz, he's gelded. He's castrated. No lineage. You know, like, in terms of, like, you know, like, Yuri shipping, like, the most annoying group, like, on one hand, while I do find all the shipping in Uma Musume weird because of the horses, because they are horses to me more than they are girls, the one thing that pisses me off even more is when I'll see, like, a person be be anti-Yuri ship and then just go and then be all for, like, trainer shipping, and I'm just like, "Get out of here. Get out of here, you pervs. Not here." The one thing that, like Yuri shipping, don't care, don't mind. Like, cool, alright. Like, it may not be what I wanna get out of the show, but I get why people do it. I mean, 95% of the cast is girls. Of course it's gonna happen. And have you seen some of the interactions in the show? They are gay. There is a lot of gay stuff going on in that show. And that's fine. Like, that's kind of part of why it works. Because of the deep camaraderie and deep relationships between the characters. But, but yeah, one thing that kind of yeah, they are gay. Like, and when I say that, I 100% don't mean it derogatorily. It's just a statement of fact. I mean, when you're crying in the rain and your best friend is like talking about how much they've been inspired by you to never give up and how life's unfair, but that no matter what, we'll always run together and I love you. Little gay. It's a little gay. But that's just how it is. And it makes the relationship deeper. I mean, you can't do anything else other than Yuri's with an all girl show. Yeah, you know what? That's not bad. Yes! 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 Let's do this! Oh, yeah! Oh, 10,000 subscribers! Oh, yeah, baby! That is exactly what I'm looking for! Oh, the hand's in the air! My hand is in the air like I'm a jockey who just won the Kentucky Derby! Oh, yeah! Oh, mama! Ah! Dr. Fager. I'm like, Dr. Fager in the Washington Park, Secretariat after the Belmont Stakes, Worldway after the Preakness. I am the champion. Yeah. Thank you all so much. 10,001. You guys are the loveliest. You guys are the best fans in the whole damn world. Thank you all so much. So let's get back to talking about lesbians. Dale Scarl and Vodka, yeah, they're so gay. They are the gayest thing ever. Like, if if you are rivals with somebody for more than like 4 years, like if you like are beefing with this person and everything about them is getting all defensive, you're gay. You're gay. Like you're in love with each other. Just kiss already, goddammit. Like, no, like they 100% intended for them to be gay. And you cannot convince me otherwise. Yeah, you're gay. That's the rules. Exactly, Orca. Exactly. Thank you very much, my mom. Yeah, one of my favorite styles of of humor is kind of like non sequitur comedy. To like set something up and then just like in a total deadpan, just say something ridiculous. Like I have a very expressive voice, but I really like just kind of deadpan, just saying something ridiculous, and then everyone kind of being caught off guard by it. That's one of my favorite forms of comedy. I've been working on a Cinderella Grey as a multimedia project now, but I'm realizing I have to realize real horses. I have no idea, Anthony, but that's kind of the thing with Uma Musume. Like, you take like all the research real horses. Look, if all you needed to do was to research real horses to make an Uma Musume themed project, just talk to me. Or actually, just talk to all of us. I mean, look at all these people here, all so dedicated to the sport of horse racing. We will pay you to let us talk to you about our horse racing ball. Like, if all you need is just to learn about horse racing, just talk to us. We're all a little autistic here. I am, at least. And our special interest is horse racing. That's just how it works, man. Yeah, exactly. Like, look at Orca, look at Mon Mob, look at like Marta. And yes, I am autistic. Seattle Slew. I love Seattle Slew. Seattle Slew, like I think in the same way as Terlingua, because of their influence, diagnosed at age 4. Welcome to the party, buddy. Um, like Seattle Slew, in the same way as Terlingua, like his influence as a stud was so great that it kind of overshadowed his achievements. I think also the other thing is that because he was a Triple Crown winner, like because Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown, undefeated, mind you, which is something that we've never seen again, besides Justify, obviously. He never what he did as an older horse got completely overshadowed, even though he was a much better older horse. I say that while also him basically having to recover significantly. Like, I mean, at the beginning of his 4-year-old year, he definitely was like shaking off the rust a bit. But when he got into his stride, when he was whooping Affirmed in the Woodward and then fighting Exceller to the bitter end in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, that was the best he ever was. And honestly, besides Dr. Fager, there is no other horse that I think, and maybe Secretariat, I think there was no other horse that could fight him. Like in a head-to-head front-running speed duel, you can't beat Seattle Slew. Seattle Slew was a beast. Like he was a little weird looking, like he had little bit of baby fat, but he really filled out. He was boisterous. He was ripped, muscly, dark, beautiful, and a little mean. Maybe not like mean. He was noble, but in a race, he'd bully you a little bit. He was a little bit of a brute. I mean, he would swell up in size. Just an absolute, like, in the best sense of the word, a beast of a creature, a beautiful animal, a warrior. Mihono Bourbon's not a cyborg, but the nickname was the cyborg because of how robotic her victories were, because they were so just kind of effective as a racehorse that it was almost robotic how they did it. And the owner who didn't know what they were doing, so many disadvantages, but he overcame them all. Yeah, like those owners had no idea what they were doing, but they were basically blessed with an all-time great. Let me look at some of the mental illnesses you guys have. I fell off the stairs when I was little, but all I got was ADHD. Not bad. I got so many mental illnesses I can't count them on one hand. Cool. How horses like Haruara can live into their 20s while still being healthier than ever? Simple. Good diet. Nice nature. Oh yeah, that horse lived to be 35. Like actually I feel so nice nature was like the oldest Japanese horse for a long time. In America, we had Count Fleet. Count Fleet was along with being a brilliant racehorse, he was also the oldest. I'm gonna leave right now, gang. Congrats on 10K sketchy. Thank you very much, Ice. Um, like Count Fleet, he lived to be 33. He was the oldest ever Kentucky Derby winner, not just Triple Crown winner, oldest like Kentucky Derby winner. 33 years and like some amount of days. He was old. He was born in 1940, and he was still alive when Secretariat was winning the Triple Crown. Sure, British Slide, going ahead. Maritime Traveler, 35. Yeah, that was. It really is kind of sad. It's the end of an era, but you know what? It was bound to happen, and we must never forget that like Maritime Traveler, he was 35. That is so old. He lived a good life. So while it is of course sad when any horse dies, when he lived to be 35, I feel like there's not much to be sad about because of just how long and fruitful of a life that is that most don't get to have. Yeah, exactly. He was really close. Damn it, old man, why couldn't you stayed alive a little longer? That is a good point, Anthony. You are right. Yeah, if Silver Charm stays around long enough, he could break that record. We just don't know. Enrichment. How about okay? Speed-wise, twin turbo. Okay, twin turbo. Well, I wouldn't say he was the fastest. I mean, twin turbo was kind of sloppy. I mean, compared to like a Silent Suzuka or even like a Panthalaza, um, he wasn't smart. He kind of just did what he wanted, and sometimes it worked out. That's kind of why he's the way he is in Uma Musume. Because, like, yeah, exactly how British Lad. What the hell are you talking about? That better not be what I think it is. If it is, get the hell out of here. Twin turbo was fast in a stupid kind of way. That's pretty much exactly how it is. Um, oh, thank God. I was so freaking worried. I was so scared. Okay. Sorry about that. Forget what I said. Sorry about that. I apologize. Yeah. I was really scared there. Like out of context like that, my I was really freaking scared. Let's just don't do that again, please. Um, but okay, yeah, I wish you a good night. Marta, welcome to the Discord server. Let's all have a fun time talking about horse racing together. Um, thank you, Anthony, for not making me seem insane. You like horse? I do like horse. I think I'll keep the live going for another 3 minutes, and then when it hits 2 hours, I'll just end it. Um, just so we can. Yes, there is. Here's the link. Here's the Sketchy the Horse Guy Discord server. So in the future, if you guys want to talk horse racing, you can talk here. So here we are. Welcome, Mon Mob. Welcome to the show. Let me just officially add a bunch of member roles. If you guys have like suggestions for like other roles, because I only have like member roles on here, like let me know in the suggestions box, because I do want to like, give people more, what's the word? Funner roles. So like that, like, so that people can better express themselves on it. Oh, yeah. Sure. You know what? Let me just quickly add. Here's an art channel. I just added an art channel in the Discord server. So like, yeah, like artists, racing historian, that's a good one, British lad. Let me go into the server inventory right now and just take care of that. Create a role. Artist. I'll make it blue. I think blue's a nice color. And racing historian. I will make green. Horse racing historian. Nice and teal green. Won't give you any powers, but it'll look cool. Horse historian. You know what? Let's go with that. I like that, Orca. Good choice. Good choice. Let me go to roles. Horse historian. Okay. Let me just artist horse historian. Yep. All right. This is perfect. Yep. We're gonna have a lot of fun here. And like, if you guys have any other like ideas or things, put it in the suggestion box. For now, I need to go to bed, but thank you all so much for the live stream. Thank you all so much for being here for 10,000 subscribers. And of course, thank you for supporting me in general. You guys are all lovely people. And yeah, I'll probably, considering how well this live stream went, I'll probably live stream again soon. Thank you again, Orca. And I think like I want to start organizing some like fun horse games for us to do, like who quizzes, maybe Garctic phone, just stuff like that. So yeah, like you guys stay tuned. This is Nathan Klein, aka Sketchy the Horse Guy, signing off. Good night.